Many of us are feeling scared at the moment because over the last 2 weeks, the whole world has changed in a way that none of us saw coming. We feel scared because we don't know what to expect, and then we spend our time thinking about the worst case scenario, which makes it even worse. Today, I want to share the things that I do to help get me through the unknown, to reduce my stress and reduce my fear so that I'm strong for everybody around me. Hi, I'm Shelley and this is Fabulous 50s. There are so many elements in our lives that seem to have changed overnight. Everything seems to be different. And I think if the world's changing, it's an opportunity for us to change too. We can't stay the way that we've always been to get through this time. We have to make some changes, we have to get strong, and we have to support everybody around us. Things that we can do absolutely every day starting now is to control the thoughts that go through our mind, control the words that come out of our mouth. We can control what we're looking at, what we're watching, and how we're internalizing it. We can control what we're eating and the food that we're putting into our body, and we can control what we do with our body, so we can control our movement. Let's start with our thought process. And the main problem that I see here is our levels of stress. They're going through the roof because we don't know what's going on and we don't know how it's going to affect us. And if we're not able to manage our stress, we go into decline. So it's really important that we do this. And the hormone that we trigger when we're in deep stress is cortisol. And cortisol is the doer of all evil for us when we're in menopause, because an increase in cortisol is going to increase our hot flashes, it's going to increase our insomnia and our belly fat and just the way that we feel. So I would guess that at the moment, if you're feeling very stressed about what's going on in the world, you've probably got more hot flushes, you can't sleep at night, and you've probably got an extra layer around your tummy that's driving you crazy. But this is what it's from. It's from our stress, it's from our constant worrying and our not knowing how to process this. When we reduce our stress and our cortisol, we increase our immunity, and it's our job to keep our immune system strong for the next few years. And that's probably our number one job from here on in. We've got to manage our immune system, make it strong, build it up so that if anything happens to us, we can move through it and get over it. And I know it's very, very easy to get on the train of stress and worry, but I'm asking you to go inside of yourself and get strong. And think about the things that you can do and stop focusing on all of this crazy. So things that you can do right now is you can learn to meditate and learn to be mindful. If you don't know how to do that, it doesn't have to be scientific. It just has to be quietening your mind and stopping the thought. Once you practice it, it will become a lot more easy. We can catch our thoughts before they get out there. So think about what you're thinking about and examine it and ask, is that the truth that I'm thinking, or is that a perceived truth? And if it's not the truth and you don't really know, change it around, because we have the ability to do that. And by putting all of that worry out there into the world, you're adding to the problem, you're making it bigger, and it's taking away your life force and your power. So you've got to bring it back in and take back your power. This is big change, so we have to make big change within ourselves. Use the life skills that you already have to go back and draw upon, to realize that you've been through many things before, you've had disasters, you've had horrible things happen to you, and you've gotten through it. You've worked out how to be so that you can get through it, and we always get through it. And I guess the great thing about being older is we do have that experience. We do have the knowledge that bad things happen and we get through them. Use your time to study, to read, to experiment, to create. Doing those activities is going to put your mind into a zone, and that zone has no place for fear and worry. You're reducing your stress because you're creating something new. And when you slip out of that and start worrying about what's going on in the world, you're going to go back into that high stress, which is going to affect your health in so many ways. Ask yourself, is there someone that I could help right now? And that could be ringing up somebody who you know is alone and maybe very scared, or checking in on people who you know live alone and are going through this all on their own without having someone to talk to about it. And when social activity is being discouraged at the moment, pick up the phone and call someone the old-fashioned way. There's someone on the other end of that phone who's really going to appreciate you checking in on them. We can read the Bible or spiritual texts because that will get us grounded. It'll help us bring ourselves back into our heart. And when we're here, we can just be so much more for everybody else. We can start journaling about the experiences we're having right now, how we're feeling, what the world's talking about. You can put it down and then leave it there. Once you've written it down, you can walk away and start doing some of those other things that you've decided to do that are new. There's so many things you can do rather than stress about things that you can't control. Fill up your mind with things that intrigue you and excite you. The whole world will still be going crazy around you, but at least for those moments that you're doing those things, you're in control. Now, this whole thing is a respiratory problem. There has been no better time on planet Earth to give up smoking, because you need to be strong and healthy, and we need our respiratory system strong and alive. They say if you smoke, you're at risk, but that's okay because you can stop and you can rebuild that system. And if you've been thinking of giving up, you don't need to be thinking about that anymore. Just do it, please, so that you can stay strong and healthy. And the next thing we can do is to do anything we can to reduce the inflammation inside our body, because we've got to keep our immune system strong, and all that inflammation is going to block that from working for us. So things that make us inflamed are processed foods, white flour, white bread, sugar, cookies, cakes, sodas, anything that you know for a fact is not good for you. Use this time to create change. The world's changing, so you can change as well. Change on the inside, because often in uncertain times and in situations where you're pushed to your limits, that's when you get the most growth. So this is just an opportunity for you to get healthy and get strong. You have so much control over that. We don't have a reason not to do it right now. You can also add immune boosting supplements into your diet. I can make a video on that later, but today I just want to help you find some answers so that you can focus on things that are going to make you feel good. And the last thing you can do is to focus on getting a strong body through exercise and movement. And I'm always talking about this, but at our age, we need to be exercising every single day for the rest of our lives, because we don't know what's coming up. And this body is our vessel to get through the next 30, 40, 50 or 60 years. It has to be in good working order. Exercise helps increase our white blood count, and our white blood count is what helps fight disease and infection. So think about it. If we can exercise and make those cells in our body work for us, we're going to do everything we can. We've got the power to make ourselves feel good and to give us longevity. And also when we exercise, we're oxygenating our blood. The more oxygen we can have in our body, the better our body's going to work. So our job is to be strong and healthy and fight disease. This is what we're being faced with right now, and this is what you can do. Spend less time worrying about what everybody's talking about, and spend most of your time thinking about and doing the things that can make you strong and healthy, and someone who is grounded enough to help take care of everybody around you. Just 1 hour of stress relieving activity is going to decrease your cortisol by 24%, and it decreases anxiety and stress related problems by 50%. 1 hour, you can do that. That can be half an hour of exercise and half an hour of meditation, praying, thinking, sitting down, being grateful. 1 hour. Or it can be sections throughout the day, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of exercise, little bursts of exercise. We can all do that. That is not a big task when the stakes are high. This is your opportunity to make some really, really important changes and some necessary changes, and probably it would have been a great thing to do anyway, but now we've got this big thing staring at us, asking us to step up and focus on our health and our nutrition and our thoughts. And when you focus on these elements, and making change in these ways, you're going to come out of this as your best self. If, on the other hand, you ignore everything and do nothing and stay on the couch and get consumed with all the negativity, you can go into a distress cycle which will consume your every thought and attack your body from the inside and make you sick. Please let me know if there's anything that I can do for you through my videos. I'm open to suggestions and I really want to help. So if you've got something that you think would help, some videos that I could film, help you in any way, let me know in the comments below. I'm very open, even if it's just to let you know that we're all in this together and we're going to be okay. Please share these tips with your family and friends, just to let them know that they have the power and you have the power to make positive change in these uncertain times. And click here to subscribe if you'd like to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. Thank you so much for watching. Be the light for the other people in your life. Stay grounded. We're going to be okay. I'm going to suggest now that you do this stretch workout every single day to increase your mobility and your flexibility and your strength. It's really going to help. And then work your way through this series of 5-minute workouts. They're quick, they're easy, they make you strong, they make you feel good, and I promise you they're not boring, they're fun.